Hello everyone, and welcome to Symphony Preview on Helena Civic Television. My name is Cameron. I'm the Director of Development and Communications with the Helena Symphony, and I am joined today by Maestro Allan R. Today we are talking all about Masterworks IV, Romeo and Juliet and Symphonie fantastique. It is going to be an absolutely incredible concert this upcoming February 26th. So let's jump right in. This is a little bit of a twist on Valentine's Day, in a very unique way.
I don't want anyone to think I have this warped sense of humor here. Not because of the Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet, maybe the quintessential Valentine's heartbreak story. We all know the story, Shakespeare's quintessential tale of the two households and the rivalries. I mean, West Side Story captures it. West Side Story is Romeo and Juliet. They just changed the names. But the rival gangs, the families, and but instead of Maria and Tony, of course, it's originally Romeo and Juliet. So Tchaikovsky captures it in sort of what we call a tone poem, where it's just telling the story musically, and you hear the warning of the friar Lawrence, who marries them in secret, and then you hear the rival gangs fighting, the Montagues and Capulets, or Sharks and Jets, I guess, in the West Side Story version, and then you hear the famous love theme that is so well known in classical music, and you hear it in cartoons. It's a very famous English horn, which is a lower oboe, playing this gorgeous, heartbreaking melody. And we all know what's going to happen because Romeo and Juliet die at the end, and you hear that too. You even hear the lower brass where she stabs herself. It's very picturesque, and it's a 20-minute pastiche of the story, and at the end the love theme comes back and we're all just so sad. It's a tearjerker, but it's this over-the-top drama. And I felt that why not do a similar type of thing, but on a grander scale. And yes, it's a little bit more perverse, I suppose, but Hector Berlioz is a French composer who is a strange guy. He kind of was fascinated with dead bodies, and he's just kind of a weird composer. He was a music critic by training and a guitarist, a music theorist, but he decided to write this larger-than-life work, massive, like a symphony, but makes it a big tone poem with 5 different movements, a Symphonie fantastique, a fantastic symphony. And the Symphonie fantastique, he comes up with this thing called the idée fixe, and an idée fixe is just a fixed idea. This idea that there's a musical theme that kind of permeates throughout, that we keep hearing it creep back in. He refers that to his lover. And so it's a story of an artist, perhaps Berlioz himself, because this is very autobiographical, of him going to see his lover. And he sees her there, and he loves her so much, and they have a beautiful picnic and make love on the countryside, and then they go to a ball. And he sees her dancing with someone else, and rage and jealousy set in. So he finds her, and he kills her. And then he's sentenced to the scaffold, to be killed at the scaffold. So his head is chopped off at the scaffold, and you hear it in the music, and then he's in hell, and he's dancing with the witches, and you hear it. So a lot of people will do this at Halloween time, because it's the famous march to the scaffold and dances of the Witches' Sabbath, particularly the dances of the Witches' Sabbath are played at Halloween all the time. March to the scaffold is used in many sort of love gone wrong movies, stalker movies. It's famously used in a Julia Roberts movie, Sleeping with the Enemy. And Berlioz uses the well-known Dies Irae, which is from the Roman Catholic Requiem of the Day of Doom, Dies Irae, Dies Irae, and it sounds scary and spooky that you're going to be doomed to hell. So he uses this theme to capture sort of the artist's sentence to hell. So it's about unrequited love, it's about sort of obsession, and when Berlioz also, he incorporates this idea that the artist was maybe taking opium, frankly, tripping on acid, really, when he experienced this. So maybe it's all just a weird dream. Berlioz himself apparently was going through this same story, that there was this actress that he loved, Harriet Simpson, and he was on his way to get her, supposedly, I don't know if he was going to kill her, but he was certainly enraged. And he meets Felix Mendelssohn, the composer, along his way, and that sort of derailed his trip from going and doing whatever he's going to do. This famous actress who he eventually, I think, married briefly or whatever. But it's an autobiography. It's a fantastical story. It's not meant to be about stalking or weird abuse or anything like that. Maybe a little weird for Valentine's, but it's in the spirit of Romeo and Juliet and sort of this Hallmark holiday and a larger than life sort of, it is a story of love, just love gone wrong. But I just think it's the piece is far-fetched. It's meant to be far-fetched. It's what we call romantic, capital letter R, meaning just over the top, dramatic. And it's a massive work. It's almost an hour long, complicated as hell. And it's just, but audiences love it because you hear the story throughout. You hear the beautiful scene on the countryside. You hear the dance at the ball. You hear the march to the scaffold, and you hear the dances of the witches' Sabbath, and he's in like a pot being cooked, and they're dancing around him and all this. It's kind of crazy, but it's a lot of fun. And I think we just have to take it for what it is. I'm not trying to suggest anything weird. So, but I think there's no guest artist. The orchestra is the soloist.
Definitely. And I think that that's true for both of these pieces. Both of these pieces, when you take a music class in college, these are regarded as two masterpieces of symphonic music. Can you explain to us a little bit about how they became so historically significant and what makes these pieces the masterworks that we know today?
Yeah, I mean, Tchaikovsky, he has way more important. He has 6 major symphonies, a major violin concerto, piano concerto, operas, of course, the 3 greatest, some say some of the greatest large-scale ballets of all time, Nutcracker, Sleeping Beauty, and Swan Lake. He wrote 3, and they're all masterpieces. I mean, but I think, like so many composers, they love Shakespeare. Shakespeare tells maybe the best storyteller of all time, and so many composers will write music to either go with the play or just to capture it. This is not meant to go with the play. This is meant surely to just, here's a 20-minute musical highlight of, or highlights of the play in a musical format. And he uses this theme with the English horn that is just so profound. I think the Berlioz is so significant because it's this idea that Wagner taps into what he calls leitmotif, and John Williams in his film score uses it. For example, when we hear Darth Vader or the idea of Darth Vader, we hear that theme, da 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 dee dee da dee da. That John Williams uses Wagner's idea of leitmotif, that whenever there's a theme or a character that the composer wants us to tie it together. Wagner's operas were not silly or superficial, they're very intense. The Ring cycle is 16 hours. So there's a lot going on with the plot. So the way Wagner keeps the listener engaged to remember what's the plot, he uses these themes. It's not the word that it means, but leitmotif is the musical idea that references a thought, a theme, or a character. And before that, we get Berlioz, and Berlioz is using a similar, but Berlioz calls it an idée fixe, fixed idea. And it's, in this case, the clarinet or the E-flat clarinet, the really high clarinet. And it just is the theme of the lover coming back, it creeps in throughout. So it's sort of hauntingly beautiful and a little bit reminiscent that this is why he's going to kill her. I mean, that's the theme. And you hear this beautiful lyrical melody of this distant lover. In fact, at one point, the English horn is playing a similar idea, and the first oboist has to go off stage and play from off stage. So I think the reason why, well, one, Berlioz didn't write tons of music, and not tons of music that is so significant, but or as good. But this is a masterpiece because it's this large-scale musical tone poem. This idea of idée fixe was a very new idea, and that's why people study it. They study the idée fixe. And also it captures such a picturesque scene, the march to the scaffold. I mean, it is super exciting. And, and the dances of the Witches' Sabbath, the last 2 movements are, I mean, the orchestra is just unleashed. And in a way that just few composers do. So I think that's why both of these are so celebrated, so loved by audiences, by scholars, by musicians. And I think it's a really great concert to attend because you can sort of allow your imagination and craziness and fun, and it's there to be truly, this is all escapist entertainment.
Definitely. Well, and in a strange way, it's all very relatable. It's about young love, and it's about these very human emotions that drive people to make crazy decisions, which is just tale as old as time. It's been in every movie ever.
Right.
And so this is probably one of the most exciting concerts that we have this season because of that idea. I would say even compared to Rite of Spring and Carmen, this is up there with them.
Oh yeah.
Because these last three concerts are heavy-hitting concerts when it comes to these very intense emotions.
Yeah, and we all indulge, and we all can be dramatic, and we all can be over the top, and this is why composers tap into this and why storytellers tap into it. They're not making stuff up. They may be exaggerating some things, but from films to poems to paintings to plays to operas to symphonic music, they're just tapping into things that we all are capable of feeling and doing. Particularly like the young love, it just seems like there's nothing else that matters, and this whole thing, and Shakespeare captures it so beautifully, and also Shakespeare, what he's saying in that, and what going back to the Tchaikovsky is, be careful what we do as adults, because the young love. Yet it's these families of adults are ripping each other apart and killing each other, and yet it's just young boy and girl fall in love, innocent, and yet it can't be because of what the adults do.
Yeah. So
it's a reminder that we all have to check into. So I think Tchaikovsky is just capturing the drama of all of these, from the love to the drama of the hatred to the warning of the friar. All of these things are captured into this 20-minute little musical pastiche. I'm excited because I think audiences love this stuff, and they just want to come in. It's great for Valentine's Day because it's just it's just like it's watching like a romantic comedy. That it's not meant to be real, but we love it.
Yeah, definitely. And this is going to be just one of the most exciting concerts this season. Tickets are on sale now. You can get them on the Symphony website, or you can call our office, or just come and visit us in the office. Tickets are on sale now. The concert is going to be on February 26th at 7:30 p.m. at the Helena Civic Center. This is truly one of the concerts this season that you do not want to miss. And of course, you can still get tickets for our other Masterworks concerts this season that are happening, Masterworks V, Rite of Spring, and Masterworks VI, Carmen in concert. Very, very exciting way that we are finishing season 67. And of course, what has been announced is we are currently selling renewals for our subscribers. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, season 68. Season ticket holders can buy their tickets now before they go on sale to the public. So you want to renew, get your seat, get your discounts, get the older prices, so you can get locked in with all that. There's a really great video you can watch on our YouTube channel, our website, to see all the details. But from Sweeney Todd to Mozart Requiem, up to some incredible guest artists. Claire Wanchi returns to do some Rachmaninoff for Rachmaninoff's 150th birthday. Also Sprach Zarathustra, which people know as the opening to Space Odyssey 2001 from the film, to a really exciting opening night that is so much fun. It's from a conga to Ravel's Bolero, to an all Tchaikovsky program, coming back to Tchaikovsky, his violin concerto with his Fourth Symphony, and so to highlights from Wagner's Tristan and Isolde, this idea of love, as sort of a Romeo and Juliet theme, love and loss and heartbreak, to Symphony Under the Stars, which we'll be announcing soon, to the special benefit concert, A Night in Hollywood at Montana Ting in June, to Mozart by Candlelight, all of these non-series concerts, Christmas in the Cathedral this year with Handel's Messiah. So many things. When you're a season ticket holder, you get so much more.
Definitely.
And you save too, and they're your seats. So we encourage people to subscribe. If you're not a subscriber, you can you can, as soon as they go on sale to the general public, definitely get
Yep.
them. It's really a great investment in your own mental health, your own physical well-being, your own date nights, and your own escape, and your own self-care, and you're experiencing great art here with the Helena Symphony. So you can re-up now to season 68, 2022-23 season, and they start on sale. They started at the end of January, and they go on sale for like a month or so before they go on sale to the general public.
Yep. Well, we hope that all of you will join us for the rest of the very exciting season 67, and of course, renew your subscriptions for season 68. Thank you so much to First Community Bank, our sponsor of Masterworks IV, and to all of the other individuals and businesses that support the Helena Symphony. We are very excited for the rest of this season, and we'll see you next time on Symphony Preview.